In this video, we will be discussing the menu navigation and setup of the DVP-1200 control panel. It is capable of connecting up to 192 detectors, as well as up to 4 remote driver devices, which can house analog inputs and outputs, as well as additional relays. The panel also has 4 dedicated 4 to 20 mA outputs for driving variable speed fans, as well as Ethernet and BACnet outputs for connecting to building automation systems. When power is applied to the panel, the firmware version is quickly shown. If you didn't have time to jot down the number, don't worry. There is a technical support menu we will look at later in the video that has not only the firmware version of the panel, but also the contact information for Macurco's tech support department. After the power-up sequence is complete, the panel begins to locate detectors that it is connected to, and will display them along the bottom section of the screen. If you have remote devices such as the RD24 connected, it will also display them here. During installation, it's best to have recorded the addresses of each detector onto a map of the facility, so that you can refer to it while looking at this screen to ensure all detectors are being found by the panel for the first time. If you wish to record the firmware version or need the contact info for technical support, while on the home screen, press the down arrow to highlight technical support and press the enter key. The phone number and email address for tech support is displayed, as well as the serial number of the panel, and optionally, the reseller's name and contact information as well. Press the menu button to return to the main menu. As you can see, the backlight is currently on. If you wish to turn it off, press the bottom left button on the panel. It will toggle on or off the backlight. In order to configure the panel for use, with the screen highlighting the Configure System menu item, press Enter. The panel will ask for the password before allowing you to proceed. The default password is 1234. There is a place in the menus where this can be changed, which we will look at later. Press the Enter key to manually configure the panel for setup. The Read Configuration File function will be discussed in a later video in this series. Let's start configuring a zone by pressing the Enter key. All of the detectors that are connected to this panel will need to be added to at least one zone in order for the relays on the panel to be activated during a gas detection event. Think of zones as a group of 1 or more detectors that need to activate 1 or more relays when gas is detected. For instance, let's say we have a 2-story parking garage and multiple detectors and fans on each floor. The detectors that are on level 1 with several fans would need to be set to zone 1, and all the detectors and fans on the second floor would be set to zone 2. This way, we can have the fans on floor 1 activate only when a detector on floor 1 senses gas. Now, press the Enter button to add a zone. Let's start with zone 1. After pressing Enter again, we will now be able to add sensors, relays, horn strobes, and other outputs to this zone. Press the Enter button and we can now add sensors. Notice that the panel says there are no sensors in this zone. This means we have yet to add sensors to this zone and should do so now. Press Enter and type the first detector's channel number and press Enter. In this example, we are adding channels 1, 2, and 3 to this zone. You must enter each channel separately as shown. Notice that after each successful channel that is added, the lower section of the screen will show the sensors that are reporting to this zone. Press the left arrow to step back to the zone menu. Now, let's add 1 or more relays to be activated when this zone becomes active during a gas event. Notice that the bottom section of the screen shows all the relays that this particular panel has installed on it. The screen will also show any relay modules that may be installed on any remote devices that are connected. Press Enter to add a relay. Press the number of the relay you wish to add. Remember to add each relay 1 at a time. Press the left arrow to step back to the zone menu. Now let's add a horn strobe module. Let's review the group settings, which is where we can make changes to the default rise, fall, warning, and alarm settings for each gas type. The settings shown are industry best practice standards that apply to most scenarios. You can change these depending on the environment and use case, but please review OSHA and other governing authorities' recommendations before attempting to modify these settings. Select Enter on sensor type, and you can press the number that corresponds with the sensor group you wish to review. Consult the manual for more information. Press the left arrow to step back to the zone menu. Now, before we save this configuration, let's add an analog 4 to 20 mA output to control a variable speed driven fan. The DVP-1200 has 3 onboard analog outputs, so we can choose output 1, 2, or 3 or any combination of them. Peak means the highest gas reading of any sensor in this zone will reflect in the 4 to 20 mA output assigned. Scale means all sensors' values are computed so that the output is an average of all. Consult the manual for a more detailed explanation of these output types. Output range should be changed to match whatever the device, such as a variable speed driven fan, requires to operate correctly. Left arrow to step back to the zone menu. Now, let's save our configuration. Congratulations! Press the left arrow to step back to the main menu. Press the menu button to take you back to the main screen. This is the view that displays the programmed zones, sensor types, relays, and horn strobes that are configured to activate in each zone listed. If everything is good and you have no active gas readings, you should see the word normal. During a gas event, you will likely see the relay light come on first, as by default there is no delay on the activation of the relays, indicating that gas has increased to the initial rise threshold. If the gas level drops because of the fans that were activated by the relays, the gas level would drop below the fall threshold, which would clear the event and turn off the relay or relays. However, if the gas level continues to rise, the zone warning indication will activate, which can be set to activate additional devices such as horns and strobes, local or remote relays, etc. If the level continues to rise to the alarm level, the amber warning light will change to red, and the panel will switch to show the alarm was activated. For technical support questions and help with installation, contact our tech support team at 844-325-3050. For help with ordering and any other product questions, call 877-367-7891.